But welcome to the Social Season Masterclasses brought to you by the BSME in association with Readly. My name is Luca Weatherby Matthews and I'm on the social media team at British Glamour. And today I'm joined by the lovely Maud Massar, who is the partner specialist for English-speaking countries at Pintrest. And together we are going to explore how best to use Pinterest for a whole variety of projects. And Maud and us at the Glamour team work really closely together. So I know that you're in very knowledgeable and safe hands for today. And then whenever you're ready, Maud, you can take the reins.
Yeah, sure. So let's start now, just sharing my screen. Hope it will work. Is it working properly?
Yeah, got you.
Perfect. Great. Okay, so hi everyone and welcome to this Pinterest session today. My name is Maud. I'm a partner specialist, as Luca mentioned, at Pinterest. I look after publishers' accounts, specifically covering the UK and temporarily Canada and Australia as well, despite my very French accent, by the way. And I'm here to help you understand how to best use Pinterest for your business. So today we have a very big agenda. Is it switching? Yeah. We have a very big agenda. So the plan for today is to go through a quick Pinterest introduction to set the scene. And then I'll detail some basics, such as how to really get started on the platform and where your content gets featured on the platform. Then I'll show you our different formats and especially our idea pins, which is our top performing format at the moment. I'll cover some key Pinterest metrics you need to know. And finally, I'll go over content themes and trends, especially for the month of October, and our latest inclusive product launches as well. So big agenda, as I mentioned. So to start with a really quick Pinterest introduction, first, I wanted to remind you of our mission. So at Pinterest, our mission is to bring everyone the inspiration to create a life they love. And the keyword for us here is everyone, because we want every pinner, that's how we call our users, by the way, no matter how they identify themselves, to see Pinterest as the most positive corner of the internet, where they can find further inspiration. So we want to be as inclusive, as diverse, and as positive as possible. Currently, we have over 450 million global monthly active users on the platform. So they come on Pinterest every day to seek for inspiration. And content-wise, 300 billion pins have been saved by our pinners all over the world, and 6 billion boards have been created. And it's important to know who are our pinners and who are the demographics behind these numbers. So actually, Gen Z, men, and millennials are the audience segments that are driving the majority of Pinterest's new user growth. And looking at the numbers for the UK, 1 in 3 pinners are UK mothers, 41% of our pinners are millennial women, and 1 in 5 pinners are men in the UK. But actually, the fastest growing audience today is the Gen Z. They are turning to Pinterest as they become new independents and start doing many things for the first time. For example, the first car, the first job, the first flat, the first day at uni. And they want to know how to do these things their own way to demonstrate their proper individuality. And it's important to flag that without you, so without publishers on the platform, there would be absolutely no Pinterest, because all the content that we distribute on the platform actually comes from you. Pinners come to Pinterest to discover and follow the creators behind the content, just like you. And they connect with those that inspire, inform, and encourage them to try new things because they want to turn inspiration into action. And so how does Pinterest surface your content? Pinterest is a visual discovery engine and works as a search engine. So the content you publish is not chronological, but Pinterest surfaces it when relevant, based on a user's interests, engagements, and searches. So what you include in your pin is more important than when you publish it. And in fact, people discover your ideas as soon as you create a pin, but also months later. So for example, 300 days from now, your pins can still be trending. So now let's go through the basics to get started very quickly. So obviously just start by signing up to Pinterest and entering your email address and password. That's the first step. Then as a business, you'll need to create a business account, which is completely free, and that will give you access to more features, to more formats, and also to your Pinterest analytics. You can just go to your Pinterest account settings and choose to convert your account to business very easily. And now that you're a business on Pinterest, you can add more information about your business into your settings as well. So you can choose your business name, you can specify what type of business you are, which helps Pinterest understand who you are and surface your content to the right audience and to the right places. And you can also enter your website to make sure you drive traffic to your site from your Pinterest profile. That actually leads me to the third step, which is to claim your website. So you can just go in your settings, click on claim, and here you'll be able to copy and paste your website URL and claim it. This will give you access to more stats on the content that you create and that you link back to your site. And this will also give you attribution on the content you create, which means that your logo, your username, and the red follow button will appear on any content you create and that you link to your sites. So now that you have a complete business profile on Pinterest, this is how it will look like on mobile. You'll have a cover picture and a profile picture as well. Below your profile picture, your information will appear. So your username, your profile description, and also the number of followers and monthly unique viewers you have. And finally, pinners will see that red follow button where they can click on if they decide they want to engage with all your content and see it surfaced on their home feeds. So here you are, you can start publishing pins and building boards as well. And the most obvious way to create new content on Pinterest is to simply upload it from your computer or from your mobile to your Pinterest profile. To do this, just click the plus button at the bottom of your screen and select what you want to create. If you select create a pin, you'll have the ability to choose one of your photos. On mobile, you'll be also able to directly take a new picture with the Pinterest camera. But you can also set up the save button on your websites. This is great to use if you want to easily distribute some of your website content as pins on Pinterest. Thanks to this button, and with just one click, visitors can save content they like on your sites to their Pinterest boards directly, which helps even more pinners discover you. And finally, if you have an RSS feed, you can easily link it to Pinterest. Just go in your settings again and click on bulk create pins. In this section, you'll have the ability to copy and paste the link of your RSS feed and start auto-publishing content. Every time you'll be adding new content on your site, new pins will also be created on your profile. So just choose the board you want to publish your pins to or create a new one, and you'll be able to move them to different boards later. And you can also have multiple feeds linked to multiple boards if you want to keep your content more organized. So now I just wanted to give you a quick snapshot of where that content gets actually surfaced on the platform. On Pinterest, your organic content can show up on 4 different places. It can be distributed on the home feed. The home feed is the general source of inspiration of pinners. This is the first page they see when they connect to the platform. And Pinterest actually learns to know each pinner and their general interests and distribute content accordingly on their home feeds. If your content matches the pinner's general interest, it will be featured there. Then the search page gives you inspiration based on specific keywords you typed in the search bar. This is where it gets more specific and drilled down. If your content matches a pinner's specific search, it will be distributed on their search results page. Your content can also appear in the related pins. So when you click on a pin to see it in big and read more information, and if you scroll down a little, you'll see that section called More Like This. And that's where you'll see all the pins that are similar to the one you chose to look at, giving pinners even more inspiration around one specific idea. And the 3 surfaces that I've just described now are all automatically populated by Pinterest. So we can't do anything on them. But there are a couple of places on the platform that are entirely curated by our editor. These are our daily inspiration feed and our idea pin streams. These can be found under the search landing page. If you just click on the search bar and before you type any keyword, that's where you'll find our editor's curations. This means that we have a lot of space to feature more publishers, and our articles get high levels of impressions and clicks. So if you get featured in these editorial articles, you will get higher exposure and higher engagements.
Quick question on this part.
Yeah.
Is it a way for publishers to know what they can be doing to ensure that the curation team pick up on their content? Are there certain things to do or look out for?
Yeah, definitely. There are some specific themes and trends to follow, and that's what we would be surfacing on these specific curation spaces. And that's actually something I'm going to introduce in another part, but in the end, at the end of the webinar, I think. So I'm going to tell you all the secrets. Yeah, so now you might wonder what formats you can use on the platform. So I'll highlight two types of formats. First of all, obviously, you have the standard static pins. A standard pin is made of an image, a title, a description, and a link to your site for more details. When it comes to the image, you'll need to make sure that it's vertical and high resolution. The reason behind this is that 85% of our audience is using Pinterest on mobile, and it's more visually appealing to have an image filling your screen space on your phone. And when it comes to the title and description, there's just a few things you need to know. Your title needs to be very clear and very simple. Just think of what pinners will be typing in the search bar and try to name your pins the same way. Avoid, for example, the spaces between your characters or putting funny titles, as it's not really something pinners would be searching for. For example, if a pinner is looking for things to eat for dinner, they will be looking for easy dinner recipes, quick vegan dinner recipes, for example. So very, very simple words. Then your description can include up to 500 characters, but make sure to put all the most relevant information in the first 2 sentences. And finally, make sure to include any top keyword in your titles and descriptions. As I mentioned, Pinterest is a visual discovery engine working as a search engine. So adding good keywords in your titles and descriptions will help Pinterest understand what your content is about and surface it to the right audience. But right now, our top performing and most immersive format on Pinterest is called Idea Pins. So many of you may already be familiar with Idea Pins. It's our new multi-page video format, and it's the perfect format to showcase step-by-step tutorials, day in the life content, and engaging your audience to share their recreations and tries with you. Recently, I've seen some really great video idea pins, for example, featuring styling tips, beauty tutorials, recipes, room tours, and even interviews. So you can literally do anything that you like. This is our #1 feature for driving audience growth, with the call to action being to follow your Pinterest account. And we have heard from creators and publishers as well that they're seeing measurable success using idea pins. So here is a quick video to show you how they work. I hope it will actually play. Can you hear the sound?
No.
Yeah. I figured there would be an issue with the sound. I'm gonna try to put it on my computer. So no, not playing again. So to break it down even further, let's take a look at all the parts that make up a single idea pin. So you can see that you have the page count at the top. So each tab will fill in as it's being viewed so that you can tell how far along you are. You can add up to 20 pages in an idea pin, and each video can last up to 60 seconds. Then your cover page, we recommend that this is video to capture your audience's attention in the feed, in the home feed. Then adding a title helps give your idea pin context and tells your audience what your content will be talking about and encourages them to keep watching as well. Your profile picture and name shows at the bottom left corner, and the comments, reactions, and save button is at the bottom right. So depending on the template that you use, you have the option to showcase ingredients or materials. As you tap through the idea pages, you can always refer back to these details. This is why we call that section the detail drawer. So you can feel free to open or close the drawer whenever you like. And everything you need to create an idea pin is actually in the app. So you can use your camera to capture videos or import from your camera roll. You can add text to add an eye-catching title and to highlight the key details on each page. You can switch up the fonts, colors, and edit the duration of the text and add animations to bring those details to life. You can tag a brand or a creator you've been working with thanks to the ads mention. You can also add stickers to your pages, switch up the colors and sizes of them for the perfect fit. And you can browse the music library by mood, for example, to find the perfect track to complement your idea pin. And you can also record a voiceover in the app to help explain the process, add details, show your personality, so just to make it more playful. And you can then edit the levels of the audio to make sure that your audience hears the right sounds at the right moments. And once your idea pin has been published, you can check out the pin stats to see how it's doing. You can see the interactions from your audience with the number of tries and reactions. Then below, you can see the lifetime stats, including impressions, pin clicks, saves, profile visits, and follows. And now we have actually also launched product tagging on idea pins. So now you can tag products that you are using directly on your idea pin, pulling from our catalogs of millions of product pins. You can tag up to 5 items per page and 20 in total in an idea pin. That will help your audience go from inspiration to shoppable action. You can do this easily from the steps on screen. You can either search for existing products available on Pinterest or add an affiliate link to create the product pin yourself. Currently, our partners for affiliate links product tagging are Rakuten, ShopStyle, and Target, and we are working on expanding the list of merchants as we speak to make it even easier for you. Finally, we have also launched the paid partnership feature for your partnerships with creators or brands. The paid partnership tool is a feature within the Idea Pins app that enables a creator to tag a brand they have a sponsorship with. Using this tool will allow your Idea Pins to be disclosed as a paid partnership. So you have the paid partnership mentioned just below the image.
Just jumping in, we've had a couple of questions. So
yeah.
First one is on static pins from Mary, who says, my brand is a B2B news service and visually led. How well does news content perform on Pinterest? If we publish to Pinterest via RSS, for example, we wouldn't be posting vertical images.
So so it's still okay, but we really highly recommend that it's vertical because it's still a visual discovery engine. So everything works with the creative aspect of the images. And so our basic best practices are still to have a vertical image, making sure that it's high resolution. So one advice that we give is to keep your RSS feed because you still want to populate your Pinterest profile and make sure that you add content every week. And so then you'll be recognized as a weekly active user on the platform, active weekly creator, in fact. And then just make sure to keep some time to work on your Pinterest profile yourself. So you can in the board have some of your images that are pulled from some of your pins, that are pulled from your RSS feeds, and some that you have created yourself and spent more time on, just to make sure that you still have that kind of creative side on your profile.
Perfect. And another question we've got, is it possible to add links to idea pins?
No, so currently idea pins are not really created for traffic. They were actually built to keep the audience on Pinterest and make sure that they interact with your other content on your profile. So right now, and I don't think that will be the case in the near future, we're not adding links. However, by the end of the year or early next year, that hasn't been launched really yet, we will add some paid opportunity where you will be able to work with affiliate links. That's actually already the case with product tagging, for example. But you will be able to work with more links and paid promotions, but I'm not really allowed to share more than that for the moment.
Have to stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a couple of questions have just come through. So Maddie says, I tried using video for standard pins. Do you recommend this for people who want to use videos and add links to their pins?
No, because the video pin feature will be gradually converting into idea pins as well. So videos will soon kind of disappear from the platform, and we're going to do a big push and a big focus on idea pins, really just idea pins. So I would recommend more trying to test out idea pins now to make sure that when videos won't be a thing anymore, they are already familiar with idea pins by that time.
And then finally, is it possible to create idea pins from a desktop, not just iOS?
Yeah, you can create from a desktop as well. The only thing to know is that the majority of the new features we launch on idea pins. So for example, when we adjusted the music feature and some other tools that we will launch by the end of October, we're always testing on mobile before. So you'll always have more features available on mobile first, and then we're expanding to desktop.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. So now let's cover some key Pinterest metrics that you need to know just to track how your content is doing on the platform. So on your profile page, as I mentioned at the beginning, you can see just below your username, the number of followers and the number of monthly unique viewers that you have. So monthly views represent the number of times where your published pins were on screen in the last 30 days. This is true for any pins that you have created or saved from your website, but the content that you saved from other profiles is not taken into account in the total. So it's only for the content that belongs to you. And followers are the number of pinners who follow your profile on Pinterest. Now, these 4 metrics that you can see on screen are very key to understand how your content is doing on the platform. These are the metrics that will appear in your analytics. Impressions represent all the times your pin was simply seen on Pinterest. Pin clicks represent all the times pinners clicked on your pin to have a closer look at it and see more details. Saves represent all the times your pin has been saved to pinners' boards. And outbound clicks tells you how many times pinners clicked on your links, on your standard pins, to go visit your websites. Now you'll also see this metric on your analytics dashboard called engagements. And to be super clear on what engagements represent, it's the aggregation of your pin clicks, your saves, and your outbound clicks. So that means that it's all the different ways pinners decided to engage with your content. And it's important to note that depending on your business goals, you'll be focusing on different metrics. So if you want to increase your brand awareness and build a community on Pinterest, you'll focus on impressions, pin clicks, saves, for example. But if your goal is only to bring traffic to your site, then outbound clicks is your go-to metric. So now you might also wonder, and that was one of your questions, Luca, what kind of content you should create and what is actually trending right now. So first, we released our Pinterest predicts for 2021 at the beginning of the year, and we'll have more coming for 2022. And it's giving you an idea of what will be trending this year. It's good to know that 8 out of 10 of our prediction this year came true, so you can refer to this with confidence. Then if you want to work on your SEO strategy and test out some specific keywords, feel free to use our new Pinterest Trends tool. You can find it in the Analytics drop-down menu on Pinterest. You can find it on desktop at the top left corner. And then you can just type any keyword you're interested in exploring in the search bar. You select the right country and press enter. And then you'll see how this keyword is performing over time and what related searches pinners are doing around that same topic. Finally, make sure that every month you have a look at our monthly content themes. We release them on the daily feed at the end of each month, and you can receive them by email if you reach out to us to be added to the mailing list. The content themes are written by our editorial team and give you a better idea of what might be trending in the next month and what kind of content we would want to surface on our daily inspiration feed. So let's have a look now at the October content themes in case you want to create on Pinterest this month and especially create some idea pins. So October is the spooky season with one of the major events happening this month with Halloween on the 31st. So pinners have already begun to look for inspiration since August, actually, as they are early planners, but they will be planning more than ever in October. So you can give them inspiration, the inspiration they need from fancy dresses to scary makeup, but also haunted houses, devilish decoration ideas, for example. Top searches include hot couple costumes, up 160% year on year, and trendy Halloween costumes as well. Then with autumn beginning to settle in, make sure that you give pinners ideas to switch up their favorite recipes with all their favorite sweet treats, like pumpkin pie, but also winter warmers they love, like butternut squash soup and hearty tray bakes. It's also a time for pinners to cozy up their homes. With colder and darker days coming, all of the focus falls on the home as they will be spending more time inside. So show pinners how you're creating cozy corners, reading nooks, meditation spaces that make them actually want to stay at home. Some trending searches this year when it comes to everything Hygge include neutral color palette earth tones and wooden bed design modern. And then despite some very sunny and warm days in September, pinners are preparing themselves and their wardrobes for the colder season, which is a good opportunity for them to look for new cool styles, new items to wear, like jackets, boots, scarves, etc., to express themselves through their outfit, whatever the occasion is. Searches for 90s grunge style were up 145% year on year, and work fashion up 70%. And autumn is also full of feel-good activities to enjoy. So make sure to show pinners how to live the autumn vibes and enjoy everything that season brings, as pinners will be missing the warmer days during the early days of the new season. So show them the autumn cozy aesthetic with all the pumpkin spice and best hot chocolate recipes to make. Also inspire them to celebrate the new season with top recommendations of day trips and weekends in the UK. But then the one key initiative that we will strongly celebrate and that will be highlighted every day of October on the daily inspiration feed is Black History Month. So at Pinterest, we'll continue to support and celebrate the Black community, and we'll provide resources that will help to educate allies. So from understanding the Black British experience to educating on why representation matters and language matters. If there's any topic you are passionate about and want to teach pinners, it's time to use idea pins to amplify your voice.
Just a quick question from Chloe. Which celebrities or high-profile people do you see the most interest around?
What creators?
Celebrities and high-profile people.
Celebrities, I wouldn't really know if we have like big celebrities. So I think I would include creators more than really celebrities. but we have like many around different verticals, so that would really depend. We have a lot around beauty. I can actually put up the list of our creators, or this is something maybe I can share. Like I can share the top 5 creators per vertical, and share that with the BSME team if there is an email that will be shared out. But I can totally link. I can totally ask our creators team about some top creators, maybe celebrities, but I think that would be creators. But that's something I can definitely pull and share with the BSME team.
Perfect. And would that be the same as in from like a search perspective? Like who are the people that people are searching for the most? Would that be the same? Is that information that's available?
I don't think actually pinners, well, that's actually a fact. Pinners are not specifically looking for celebrities and people in the search bar. Celebrities maybe, but not for specific accounts like creators. They will be searching for more standard, like they will be typing more standard queries. So as I was saying, for example, I don't know, like black eyeshadow look, or like smoky eye, or like dinner recipes, etc. That's the kind of things pinners are searching for, are typing in the search bar. And if it's obviously a big celebrities, they could be including their names. But when it comes to specific creator accounts, it's not something that pinners will be necessarily typing in the search bar. It's something that it's people that they will discover on Pinterest by typing the simple query at first. So to actually end this session, I wanted to make sure I show you some of the most exciting inclusive features we launched in the last year. So first, we launched skin tone ranges, which allow pinners to filter by complexion every time they do a beauty-related search on Pinterest. They can choose between 4 groups of complexion to have very customized results. We also launched virtual try-on using augmented reality to allow pinners to try on makeup using the Pinterest camera. We started with lipstick shades and will follow with eyeshadows. Just go on the search bar and click on the Pinterest camera to access this experience. So now pinners are able to try different shades of lipsticks, and when they find the right one for their complexion, they can look at what items correspond so they can actually shop for them. To make it even more magical, we integrated our skin tone ranges with virtual try-on. So that means that pinners can also see the lipstick shade they picked on other people with a similar skin tone as well. And lastly, in August, we launched hair patterns. This is a new tool available across Pinterest to help create a more personalized experience as well. So now when you search for haircuts, style, or inspiration, you can filter by hair patterns, whether it's coils, curly, straight, protective, and even shaved hairstyles. So here is actually how it works. And again, I'm going to try to... That was a quick video. No. Okay. Cool. So that's actually it. Thank you so much for attending this session, everyone. I hope this was helpful and insightful. And however, I know that was a lot of information in 30 minutes. So don't hesitate to ask all of your other questions to Luca here now during the Q&A time.
Thank you so much. That was so extensive and so valuable and interesting. And for anyone who's wondering if there will be a recording, it will be on the BSME YouTube, so you can scroll through and take your time and take notes on all the information that Maud just presented. But yeah, if anyone's got any other questions, please do let us know. I've got a couple that I wanted to recommend on. So Pinterest is obviously really valuable as like a search tool, which you mentioned, and there's a lot of information and analytics in platform. But I also always notice if I'm searching for a specific term on Google, pins will come up quite high, especially if it's something like a makeup look or nails or something beauty related. So would you say it's worth considering SEO from that perspective as well as in platform when you're, using keywords and creating content?
Yeah, so I think the good thing to do, the little trick actually, is to either, as I said, use the Pinterest Trends tool that you have in the analytics, or something super quick that you can do. It's just a little tip that we give to our users, our creators, is to type a keyword in the search bar, but in the Pinterest search bar. And then you'll see the first queries that appear. So you have this drop-down menu that appear with all the related searches around the keyword that you typed. And these are actually the top searched queries around that specific keyword. So you can check out what are the related searches that are made, what are the related keywords that pinners are actually also looking for. And you can include all of these top keywords in your descriptions, in your titles, if that makes sense with your content, obviously. And then you'll know that this is actually what pinners are the most searching for around that specific theme.
Cool. Okay, great. Thank you. And then my other question, you said about how pins can kind of be resurfaced by the algorithm based on people's interest months later. So would you recommend avoiding kind of key moments like things like the Met Gala or award season, things like that happen on a single day? Or would you still say those are just as important as evergreen content is?
Yeah, just as important for sure, because we had a lot of searches that is more short term, I'd say. Like a lot of searches around these big events. It's the same, for example, for every moment in the year, actually. So when you're creating for Halloween or when you're creating for Christmas, obviously this is the content that will work super well around that moment. So actually pinners are early planners, so they can start in summer for Christmas. But then when you go through spring, summer, etc., this is not the content that will be working the best. So actually moments on Pinterest, whether they are like big moments like Halloween, etc., or just one day moments like the Met Gala, are all important and just as important as anything evergreen you would do, for sure.
That's good.
Yeah. It's actually great to have a little mix of everything to make sure you're on the moments, but to also have your evergreen content that will always make your account work on the long term.
And if there isn't any more questions, we will wrap up. Any final ones? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Okay, cool. Well, really hope that you enjoyed today's session, and don't forget to join us on Thursday, 21st of October, when Deborah Joseph will be back talking about the tricks and tools of TikTok with Sophie Silver, who is Director of Communications at TikTok, and Yasmin Howe, who is UK editorial lead. And should also mention that the BSME Autumn Party is being hosted at the beautiful Nolita Social in Knightsbridge, taking place on the 12th of October. It might be waitlist only at this point, but if you would like to register your interest, let one of the BSME team know. And you can book any of these events and any other BSME events at www.bsme.com. Don't forget to check out Readly, where you can get unlimited access to thousands of magazines and newspapers all in one app. And thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Maud, for your words of wisdom.
Thank you.
And practical advice. And that is goodbye from me. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.